Welcome back, and I guess what? Welcome back to another week, I'd say. Happy Monday, and thank you for spending your Monday evening with us here at the Purple Rain Podcast, episode 425, the Qatar Holman. Tre'Davious White, Kevon Seymour, Tavon Young, Trey Walker, rest in peace, Asa Jackson, Chris Carr, edition of the Purple Rain Podcast. You know where you can find us at? On Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast. This guy on Instagram or on X at Sutton Def. Me, Instagram simply as10.prod, X simply as10. And have you not already, like the video, subscribe if you are new and you enjoy the content that you are watching. And if you are subscribed, let us know in that chat below. We'll bring your name on up. One banana here saying, let's go from across the pond. Thank you for spending your Monday night with us across the pond. Happy you're here spending it with us. I see RJ saying, my guys, we got to hit a Ravens game. I can't wait for the season. Or this guy will be hitting the game in Texas and Houston. I'll probably be at a couple at the bank as well. So, that's a given. Can't wait for that. We're what? A month or not even a couple weeks away from the first preseason game.
Yeah.
We're, I think, less than 2 weeks away from the open practice at the Maryland Stadium. Like, once the open practice hits, you're close. Ashley, good evening to you. And welcome in. But yeah, we are really, really close to this NFL season, and it's showing. I mean, signings are happening. We're getting more news. I think the Seahawks vets reported today. That's the first team, and
Yeah.
now it's just going to keep on rolling. So we're basically back now, I'd say.
Yes, we are officially back in the news cycle of it all, right? Like you mentioned, football doesn't actually get played until, still about a month and some change, whatever, right? However, for us, again, and I keep calling us this degenerates, right? Degenerate Ravens fans, football fans, whatever. The news cycle starts this week. Of course, on Friday, July 24th, the Ravens will be reporting for their first day of training camp. It's only going to be the rookies, the quarterbacks, and the injured veterans. Well, I worded veterans. Jeez, let me knock on wood. Early in the show. I'm messing up.
Ooh.
It's crazy. But yeah, we're back. We are back, and the Purple Rain Podcast is back as well. Of course, we go live every Monday and Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you are just now getting hip to PRP, the Purple Rain Podcast, first of all, welcome in. And make sure, like my guy Alex said, hit that subscribe button because it's a long season ahead, and we will be here with you every step of the way covering your Baltimore Ravens each and every day. Main pod Monday and Thursday, Quiet Storm Sports, featuring your boy Sutton Def. Any other day other than that. Okay. Of course, we are live. Shout out to everybody in the live chat. We give a shout out to some of the people here. Also, big shout out to the replay gang as well. If you're watching this after the fact, special salute to you. We appreciate you for coming through. Make sure you like the video. Also, hype the video. But most importantly, comment down below your thoughts, questions, comments, concerns, whatever you got here on this episode 425 of PRP. Now, Alex, before we get started, you mentioned the bank. And speaking of M&T Bank Stadium, there was a concert there this past weekend. I believe it was Morgan Wallen and Ella Langley, which you attended. So let us know how the bank is looking, how it's feeling, and how you enjoyed that concert, man.
I'll tell you what, the upgrades they made were very, very nice. It was so crowded in there, like the concourse, you couldn't move. And there was a lot of people from out of town. I was actually directing them where to go. They're like, how do you get to the 500? Where's the escalator? And I'm like a tour guide here because like this is our home. Like we know this. And I was like, even during the playoff game I went to, it was not like this crowded. I don't think they were kind of ready for all these people to be there, but it was an insane time, fantastic show. Ray Lewis walked out, which I didn't expect. Like you hear the Nelly Hot in here playing. I'm like, surely not, right? I'm like, surely not. Yes, Ray walked out. It was awesome. I was on the field and set up my pass right here. Neil and I see you were there. Too many people there. It took me 15 minutes to walk through these sections. Yes, I got the point. I'm like, let me just get to the closest section, go one down. But I want to say it sold out. It was such a good time, and I think Ashley here says that the BTS concert's coming up. Like the bank might be the place to be for these concerts. It was a great time. The production was A+. Are we surprised? It's M&T Bank, and then fireworks you were lighting off and everything. Like if you had that much time there for a concert, imagine a primetime game at the bank. You know what I mean? Like that is just such like the pinnacle of the bank. It was such a good time, and if you can get there, you have to. But 10 out of 10, even though like it rained, we had the smoke from the wildfires here in Baltimore. Thankfully, that didn't really affect it, and both nights went on. But yeah, such a good time.
Yeah. I mean, like you mentioned, a lot of cool stuff happening there. Ray Lewis walking out, doing the squirrel dance, I believe, Morgan Wallen even tried to imitate it a little bit. I think I saw that in the clip.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, of course, you had Ella Langley there, too, who I saw was rocking a Ravens jersey. She was rocking one of those next flight jerseys, number 26, I want to say. I don't know if that was just because of it's 2026 and it probably has
Yeah,
her
it
name.
was her
Okay,
name.
got you.
It was her
Yeah.
name on the back, but apparently, like, her dress was falling down. So the Ravens, ready for anything, which I'm hoping this team is this year. They adjusted, they adapted. Here's that jersey, and if it comes down, you're good. But she was great too. Like she sounded, just like she does on the radio, and yeah, great time.
Nice, yeah, definitely two very, very talented artists there, Ella Langley and Morgan Wallen, and it's good to know that the bank is looking good. It looks like it's ready for the energy that football season will be bringing here in a couple of weeks. So that's exciting, and I'm glad you had a good time, man. And I didn't think about the logistics of it, with the whole wildfires thing going on, because I'm down here in Texas, no sign of that, like zero, right? So it's like I was had people texting me and like I saw things on social media of like how the air quality was so bad and like it looked
Hmm.
foggy outside. I'm like, wait, what is going on? Apparently, there's
Yeah.
these wildfires in Canada. So I'm glad that the concert was still able to go on despite that, especially with all those people crowded in like one central area. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, yeah. Let me see who else in the chat here. We got Miss Fancy Pants in the chat. What up? What up? What up? The man is in the chat. God's favorite is in the chat as well. Brandon is in the chat. What up? What up? Oh, wait, hold on. I see a Bateman hater in the chat.
Uh
Queendom come.
oh. The
Queendom come
book.
is a Bateman hater. She is in the chat.
The
All
book.
good. All good. I mean, Queendom come. She's in the book. She's in the book. Now listen, real quick before we get started. I'm giving everybody one last chance, a mulligan, if you will, right? If you are already in the Bateman hate book and you want to be forgiven for your transgressions against Rashad Bateman and all the hate that you've been bestowing upon him, I will give you that opportunity. Put it down below in the comments. Look, I'll scratch your name out. I just want to put that out there. But speak now or forever hold your peace. Okay, because I'm gonna need all y'all to stay on that side when the season starts. Okay, so just let me know. I'm just putting out a PSA right there. All right. Let me see. Tila's in the chat as well. What's going on, Tila? Tila's in here, moderator. Sutton and Alex giving us the hearts. Appreciate you for coming through, Tila. Dre is in the building as well. What up, Dre? Monty's in the building. I think we
I
gave a
don't
shout
think
out to Ashley as well. What's up?
you won't be too happy with Tila. She said, "No thanks, I'll pass." She's
All
doubling
right.
down.
She's doubling down. It's all
Doubling
good.
down.
It's all good. Mods can go in the book too. It's no problem. It's no problem, Tila. But yeah. I cannot wait for the season, man. Like you mentioned, we are so close, so close. And speaking of this Ravens team and getting close to the season, there were a couple of things that us Ravens fans thought that the Ravens really needed to address before going into the season. One of those things was the center position. And on Friday, I was just chilling at home. I was actually playing my PlayStation on that new Call of Duty that came out. Well, not the new one, but the new
Oh,
old one. I was on that, right? Having a good time. I get done with a match. I check my phone. I see Adam Schefter ESPN notification. I always know. I have my phone set up so like I only get Adam Schefter ESPN notifications when something with the Ravens goes down, So I knew it was something. So I read it. It said the Ravens signed center Ethan Pocic to a 1-year deal worth $3 million and then up to $1.5 million in incentives. So this was a move that, again, a lot of people thought that the Ravens should have been, it should have been on their radar. They should have been tracking it. Apparently they were. We talked about it the day before on Thursday's pod, Alex, how it sounded like Eric DeCosta still wanted to kind of do his due diligence and maybe make a few more moves, right, to really shore up the rest of this roster. But I want to toss it to you here first because I talked about it on Quiet Storm on Friday. How are you feeling, Alex, about the Ethan Pocic signing?
I mean, I feel the same way on Thursday. I kind of don't want to pat myself in the back. I'm like, you'll probably get that Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport, where, the Ravens are going to sign him to a very low contract, which they did. I think I mean, it's a little bit more than Pinter, but I doubt, most of it's guaranteed. And he'll make the roster. Not saying he'll be a starter, but it brings in competition, and that's what we need. We've seen, when we go out there and we trust our guys on the O line, and there's really no competition. How look at Daniel Falele last year. His competition was a third round guard that we drafted hurt. You know what I mean? And when we saw Emory Jones play, he looked better than Daniel Falele. So, it makes you think, like, what if he was healthy, day one? Maybe does he win the spot? Probably not as a Harbaugh guy. But I'm going back. I don't think, this favorites that we've seen for the past 15 years of the Ravens is here to stay. You know, Dwayne Ledford, he had his guy Pinter. They got Javon Gwynn. We could have easily stuck with them and be like, you know what? Our coach likes these guys. They're his guys. We'll roll with them. Edie says, you know what? I got some money. Let me get a guy who's been in the league for how many years, has 97 games played, probably more than any other center combined times 25, I bet. Maybe something like that. Maybe, 10 or 15. Get him in the roster, a proven center. Like, the like it, love it, I love it. It's a low risk, high reward thing. Obviously, he's battled the I words. He's been hurt. I think he's a pretty good doing with his rehab,
Hmm.
and I think he's about fully healthy. AFC North experience.
Yeah.
I don't know much more you can ask for. Like, if this is like a bad signing to you, I'd love to hear your reasons why. But to me, it fills a hole that me and you and I think the whole chat harped on. Like, we had got to get this done. It was a glaring weakness. Center, edge rusher. Obviously, people say receiver. There's your center right there, and we have three guys who can be the starters. Battling for a spot. Iron sharpens iron. Bring it on. Training camp, joint practices, preseason. The best center will win, and it will not be any favorites. That is very promising to me. We will know the best player will be winning the competition at the end of the training camp.
Yeah. It's funny you say that, Alex, because I'm thinking of it more like this. Like, the starting center job should currently, right now, be Ethan Pocic's to lose. Like, I don't really see it as like a competition where all three guys, Pinter, Javon Gwynn, and Ethan Pocic are like even. No, I'm looking at it more as like, we brought in Ethan Pocic to be our starting center, and barring any sort of like setback with his Achilles, or if he's really just that bad, right, in training camp, once the pads come on, and maybe in preseason or joint practices, then okay, then maybe we consider going with another guy. But as of right now, I think it should be Ethan Pocic's job to lose. I think he's now the don't quote me on this, but I think he is now, with this $3 million deal, the highest paid center on the team. And while it's $3 million, not for nothing, I still do think that you got to get a return on that investment. Call me Mr. Krabs, call me Mr. Cheapskate, whatever. But I mean, $3 million is still $3 million. So I think it should be Ethan's job to lose. Now, when I was looking into some of Ethan Pocic's tape, like, not a whole lot I could find that I didn't like. Like, he's just like a solid. You know what this reminds me of, Alex? This reminds me of when the Ravens acquired Kevin Zeitler for the first time.
Okay. Okay.
And when we got Kevin Zeitler, it was like, okay, we're gonna get Kevin Zeitler. We'll plug him in a right guard. We don't expect him to wow us or anything like that, but we expect him to be serviceable. And he was that and more for a couple of seasons in Baltimore. I'm getting these similar vibes with Ethan Pocic. I think that Ethan Pocic could potentially be here for maybe 2-3 seasons. I do think that they'll eventually want to go ahead and draft a center and develop a young guy, whatever, right? But I could see his time in Baltimore lasting more than just 1 year, especially if he performs this season. In the run game, you see that he's got experience playing in some zone concepts and some gap concepts as well, which you're going to see a lot of zone in this Dwayne Ledford run or rushing attack, right? And I also think that with him being 6'6" and 320 pounds, he's got enough size to kind of absorb the power of a lot of these bigger nose tackles, these zero techs and one techs, specifically in the AFC North. That was one thing that I had against Tyler Linderbaum last year, Alex, is going up against some of these, these nose tackles. They were just kind of slapping him out of the way because he was undersized. I mean, Tyler Linderbaum had all the technique in the world, all the smarts in the world when it comes to the center position, but he just lacked the size and just kind of mano-a-mano once he went, when he went up against bigger guys, he would kind of get tossed aside from time to time. But I don't really see that happening with Ethan Pocic. He has really good hand placement, very good pad level, especially for being 6'6". And he's also a very, very physical guy too. Very physical guy. Turns his hips, gets guys turned where they need to, creates creases for the running backs. Like, I saw a lot of good stuff. It's just like I was wondering how this guy was still a free agent, to be honest with you, Alex. So overall, like you mentioned, if we had to say like it, love it, or hate it when it comes to this signing, absolutely love it. You got like at the very least, again, like you mentioned, baseline, you got competition in the center room, and you got him for $3 million, but the reward is very, very high. I mean, if he provides any sort of like level of play similar to what Tyler Linderbaum, we're not asking him to be asking him to be Tyler Linderbaum. We're just asking him to be, again, the S word, serviceable. That's it. That's it. Lamar Jackson can really do the rest. But I do like having Ethan Pocic also next to another veteran in John Simpson as well. So you have some veterans on that interior of the O line. I think that's going to bode very, very well for our offense, Alex. I do.
Yeah, and I think what was it? They had him in May, I think, for a visit. So this has been in the works, and I think the whole EDC interview with the fan kind of really was like the nail on the head. We talked about it, we knew that would probably was going to sign somebody, but it being him is good. And when I was making his video that I put out of his tape, the Browns' offense was really bad. Like, I'm sitting here trying to look for plays, 20 plus yards to the air. I found very little. And that kind of goes to show the Browns have a lot of improvements they have to make. And we talked about had a good offseason, but that offense was so bad. And I think he may have fell a victim to it because I think his plays that, you may try to see the Browns have a big play here and there, he was blocking. The quarterbacks weren't getting it done. Or it would be an incomplete pass, it'd be roll out, throw it away. He had a couple of plays, I think, with Cam Hayward, which really impressed me. He was able to, hold his own for about 2 to 3 seconds. That's with, Shador and Gabriel back there. That's not Lamar Jackson back there, and I'm not expecting him to be this all-pro, Pro Bowl guy, but it's better than what I think we had, because Pinter had 9 games played career.
Yeah.
And I had a couple of snaps played all of last year, I think 12 snaps. So you're getting a guy with 9 seasons. You're getting a guy who can play in the offense, who is good in the pass on the run. He wasn't signed because what? The I word? You just got a starter in mid-July. This is the type of signings you take them and you run. Not to compare, but we saw what happened with Ronald Darby, with Arthur Millette. Got good usage out of those guys, and he's a stopgap center until we get the center of the future. So I agree with you with the whole Zeitler thing. Zeitler, fingers crossed, was a stopgap guy, but the draft didn't go the way we wanted. The free agent acquisitions didn't go the way we wanted. And if it was my choosing, Zeitler would have never left. So Pocic, to me, 2 to 3 years, and hopefully he plays at a high level. We can get the next center for the next 5, 6, 7, 8 years. But yeah, love it. Like I said, and it just makes this line, I think, better. And we have another continuity for our training camp, rest of the offseason, for these 5 guys to get together and have the best line possible.
Yeah. Another thing that you mentioned about the Cleveland Browns offense from last year, there was a noticeable difference in the production of the quarterbacks, whether that was Dylan Gabriel or Shador Sanders, when Ethan Pocic was and was not in the game, right? So when Ethan Pocic was starting center, let's just talk about when Shador Sanders was playing, was starting games, he actually was protected pretty well. I mean, just look at the sack totals. The sack totals are crazy. Like when Ethan Pocic was protecting or playing center for the Browns, and then when he got hurt after week 14, I think against the Titans, Shador Sanders' sack numbers went way up, right? So just kind of goes to show Ethan Pocic was actually kind of like a very solid piece on that line. And like you mentioned before, I don't know why I kind of slipped my mind a couple of minutes ago when I was talking about it. The reason why he wasn't picked up, you're absolutely right, was because of the Achilles and people were afraid of that. But pretty much as soon as he was cleared, like medically cleared, and that became public information, the Ravens went ahead and pulled the trigger and went ahead and signed him, which again, bravo. I mean, the EDC, you cooked with that one. I mean, it was something that should have been done, if you ask me. But I understand them waiting until the physicals look right with his I word, with that Achilles.
And I'm gonna back up your point real quick. The games after Ethan Pocic got hurt, here was the passing yards against the Bears, 142, against the Bills, 134, against the Steelers, 184, and against the Bengals, 82. They didn't throw for more than 200 yards after Pocic went down. If that doesn't show you,
Wow.
he was an instrumental piece as a center can be. And the game that he got hurt, which was late in the game, they put up 351 passing yards that game. Yeah. So.
Yeah. I do look. I'm excited. I'm so excited for this offensive line now. Man, if the O line of the Ravens can really be what we expect it to be, like on paper. Well, here's the thing. Even on paper, I feel like national media is kind of discounting what the Ravens offensive line are. While we're looking at it like, okay, we had Daniel Falele last year and Andrew Voorhees. Now we've got John Simpson, like a veteran guard who's been here before. We know he can be serviceable for us. And then we got Venga Ioane with the 14th overall pick. We think that that's going to actually, be a lot better than what we had last year. But national media and the pundits and everything like that, they'll tell you, okay, they got a rookie right guard or a rookie at guard in Venga Ioane, John Simpson, a journeyman veteran with, they're kind of an aging, declining Ronnie Stanley. They're looking at it like that. So I want to ask you, Alex, do you think that us Ravens fans kind of just like can't see the forest from the trees when it comes to talking about our offensive line? Because a lot of people nationally have the Ravens O-line ranked still very, very low. So are we kind of
Yeah.
being delusional here?
I don't think we are. You think about what we lost. Both guards are gone. Well, one of the starting guards is gone. The other starting guard is now what? A backup, possibly a third string, depending how you want to look at it. You have a tackle, a right tackle, and Roger Rosengarten basically saying I was being misused last year. You had Ronnie Stanley, the only guy who played at an above average level, I want to say. And now you have a brand new center. So I don't think that. And you have the coach as well, Dwayne Ledford, who has proven that he elevates lines. So I don't think we're being delusional. I just think it's the rest of the media. Once, like we talked about, if you ask them to name our linemen, they're going to probably say Ronnie Stanley and maybe Venga Ioane. I doubt they're going to name John Simpson. I doubt they're going to name Rosengarten. I doubt they're going to name Pinter, who we had, before Pocic got signed. So no, I don't think we're being delusional. I think level of play was so bad last year. It'll be very, very hard to be worse than that. I don't think that'll happen. I pray it doesn't happen. But yeah, this lineup to me, it'll be better. And I have full faith in the guys. And we have still Emory Jones. Like, I still think he has a part to play in this team. And then we had the guy we drafted late in the 7th round. So we have young guys that can come in there, get snaps in preseason, and see what they're about. So no, if you aren't excited, if you aren't feeling good about this line, maybe I get it. But I think we've made some pretty good decisions this year. And this Pocic one is another great signing as well.
Absolutely. Cannot wait to see again when the pads come out in training camp. Man, we're really gonna separate the men from the boys, that's for sure. But you mentioned like the depth that we have as well. I mean, that is something that I'm really excited for. Like you mentioned, Emory Jones, one of my personal favorites, 3rd-round pick out of LSU, played pretty well when we asked him to last season when he was kind of thrust in there. I mean, I think his very first snaps were on Thanksgiving, right? His very first NFL snaps were on Thanksgiving night. What you got?
If you don't mind me, so right now they have our lineup as Stanley, Simpson, Pocic, Ioane, Rosengarten. The backups going from left tackle to right tackle: Lichtenhan, Voorhees, Pinter, Emory Jones, Carson Vincent. Then you have Diego Pounds, Jared Penning, Javon Gwynn, Birdstein, and Corey Bullock. Bullock isn't even really a center. We've seen him play at guard. So you have that who, I think we're all high on. We're like, well, maybe he should get a chance at center. You have a guy in Javon Gwynn who was getting shots for the starting center as a 3rd stringer. And you have Pinter who can be a starter as your backup. So it's nice having this depth and who knows what Carson Vincent can be. And we know Emory Jones has some pretty scary potential. So I'm looking forward to it. I think we do have some depth and it's nice.
Yeah, EDC actually gave a shout out to Carson Vincent as well in that 105.7 The Fan radio interview last week. He said that he's one of the guys that he's really excited for, one of the young guys who maybe doesn't get talked about enough, so maybe we do see Carson Vincent in action. Honestly, I hope not, right? Because that would mean that somebody's playing like ass or gets hurt, and I don't want either of those things to happen. But shout out to the depth on the offensive line. Really got depth across the offensive line and the defensive line, if you ask me, and in both places, we're really looking good right now. We have 83 people watching live right now. Thank you guys so much for coming out to this episode 425 of the Purple Rain podcast. If you're watching live, please be sure to smash that like button, tackle that like button, do whatever you got to do. Just make sure you hit that like. Also, if you're new here and you're just now tuning in for the first time, please subscribe. Long season ahead. We will be here every step of the way. Okay, so Alex, I do want to transition here. Into training camp. Okay, so training camp is coming up here. Again, it starts this Friday. We get the rookies and the quarterbacks and the hurt veterans. I want to ask you this. What are your most burning questions? What are your top questions heading into this training camp? And I'll actually start.
Okay.
For me, over the next 2.5 weeks, the biggest question is going to be who is separating themselves in the wide receiver room. Okay. Like who is really emerging as that solidified wide receiver 3? When we run 11 personnel, we want Zay, we want Bate, and then this guy, who is separating themselves? Is it going to be Jacoby Lane? Is it going to be Elijah Surratt? Is it going to be Tez Walker? We don't know just yet. LeJounte Wester was another guy who got a shout out from Eric DeCosta too, who I expect
Yeah.
LeJounte to play more special teams, obviously for, obvious reasons. But anyways, if none of those guys are separating themselves as like, okay, we might have one here, then I would concede that maybe it's time to go and kick the tires on a Stephon Diggs or a Keenan Allen or
Mhm.
a DeAndre Hopkins, right? But not until we see what we have in training camp. Once they throw those pads on,
Yep.
right? Once they're running 7-on-7s, 11-on-11s, and things like that, and they're able to get physical with each other, and we can see who's separating, we can see who's making those contested catches. We can see who actually looks like they deserve to take meaningful reps as a starting wide receiver on this team. Then don't touch the free agent wide receiver market yet. But what do you think about that first?
I like it a lot. I feel like I want to put this like receiving core into tiers. Obviously, the tier one is a big, difference. Like you have your Zay and your Bait.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've seen what we can get from them. Behind them is like, okay, you have your Tez Walker, who there's that potential. I feel like I can put, Surratt and Lane there as well. Like we know there's potential. And then behind that, you have your guys like LeJounte, your Dayton Wades, your Octavian Smiths, the UDFAs, those guys. I want to see who's going to jump to that next role. Like, can Tez Walker kind of jump in that solidified? I'm starting day one. I know when we first come out there in the passing down, it's going to be Zay, it's going to be Bait. We don't know who's going to be the third receiver. We all want to say Tez Walker, but what if Jacoby Lane has this crazy camp? What if Elijah Surratt has this crazy camp? And what if Tez Walker, like, he's not showing it? What if it's a rookie as a third receiver? I don't know. I do like it a lot. Who's going to step up? Who's going to show out? Especially in those joint practices, before preseason.
Yeah.
Who's going to be that guy when you're up against a guy not in the same color as you, not with the same helmet as you, when it's, a guy fighting for his life, fighting for his freaking livelihood to put food on the table, fighting for a roster spot. You're going to beat him on that one-on-one? You're going to block him? So that's a really good point. I'm looking forward to seeing who steps out. I hope it says Walker for the Ravens' sake. I hope it's
You know
Bush.
what? I'm about to say, why? Why would you hope it's Tez Walker maybe over like a Surratt or a Lane?
Man, we've talked about the length, the radius, the speed. We want him to have it all. We've seen it. We've seen flashes, but we talk about he doesn't get the targets. Give us a reason to give you the targets. I think we saw him catch the 2 touchdowns against the one against the Giants, 2 against the Browns, the one on fourth down against the Steelers. Like we know he can get the separation. We saw the drops 2 against the Bengals Thanksgiving. Did you
Yep.
fix up on that? All season to do better. Because if he can be that guy, receiver 3, and you start asking questions about, well, Bateman, I hate bringing it up. Like, are we going to keep him? If Tez Walker has that breakout, I don't want that to happen. I want Bateman to have a great year, but it makes things harder for the general manager.
Yeah, I mean, Rashad Bateman, his competition is very like squarely Tez Walker, Jacoby Lane, and Elijah Surratt. If Rashad Bateman allows any of those guys, not named Zay Flowers, basically, to outperform him, then yes, he's in hot water. Rashad Bateman is with the Ravens. And I've said that multiple times before. For all of the what you guys call glazing and grifting that you guys say that I do for Rashad Bateman. I do believe that, if any of those guys show him up this season, then the Ravens will probably just go ahead and part ways with him. And I think that it would be an amicable thing because Rashad Bateman, I can promise you this, if he goes somewhere else, he's going to ball out. He's going to ball out. Now, I think that best case scenario is one of the rookies, so Jacoby Lane or Elijah Surratt in training camp, they step up, they show out, because guess what? If those guys show flashes early, that they can be like, that they're pro ready and they can come in and make an impact sooner than later. Oh, I mean, the value of your wide receiver room just skyrocketed. You want to know why? Because those guys are going to be on basically playing for nothing for the next 3-4 years. Meanwhile, if Tez Walker were to go off and go nuclear, let's just say hypothetically speaking, if he goes nuclear this season and Tez Walker comes out of this season with, let's say, 800 plus yards and 8+ touchdowns, which would be amazing for him, we're going to have to pay him. We're going to have to pay him because he's already in what, year 3 or 4 is it for Tez?
I think this is 3, I want to say. Yeah, 3. Because he was
Yeah,
drafted the same year as Wiggins. Yeah, 3.
Yeah, so he's going to be getting ready to get paid soon. So not to say that I don't want Tez Walker to step up, but I think that it would make their wide receiver room more valuable if one of those younger guys who are playing on one of those smaller contracts, who are going to be playing on those smaller contracts for the next few years, that would be the most advantageous thing. But again, the biggest question is who's separating themselves in training camp when it comes to these wide receivers? Nobody? Okay, cool. Diggs, you want to come and play? Or D Hop, you want to come back? That's what needs to happen to me. What's your most burning question for training camp?
I'm gonna keep it on the offensive side of the ball. I'm gonna
Okay.
keep it with a pass catcher. These tight ends.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
okay. We know we have Mark, and I don't want to sound like a broken record. We know we have Mark. He's the one. All right. No matter how much you dislike him, like him, he's the one. We have Durham Smythe. Fantastic blocker. We know he's going to play a part in this team because he can also line up in the backfield as a fullback. I don't know how much we're going to use fullbacks. He can block. Hibner and Cuevas. They're both going to make the team. You're not going to
Yeah.
get rid of a fourth and a fifth rounder respectively
Or
because you
fifth
didn't
and
have
sixth, right?
a fifth and sixth. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not going to get rid of them. Or you might. We might trade him. Who's going to be Lamar's new target? Who's going to be Lamar's new tight end? Because he had two.
Well,
It was Mark and Likely. He had those two. Who's going to step up? Is it going to be Hipner? We saw Cuevas making, diving catches
yeah,
in the offseason. Or is Hipner going to use that, 6'4" frame? Go up there, catch a ball or two, be the Ravens training camp top play. And then come preseason time, we have Snoop Huntley back there. He'll be dishing the ball to the tight ends. I'm looking forward to see those two guys go at it. Obviously, friendly competition. Want them both to be good. But how good is this tight end room going to be? How good is our scouting of tight ends? Is it as good as I've been hyping it up, or did they hit a lemon? But that to me, that's something I'll definitely be looking on. Who's making more plays in training camp, tight end wise.
yeah. I mean, no, that's a great point because, like I mentioned on the last episode on Thursday, Alex, I was telling you that, now, or maybe I said this on Quiet Storm, I can't remember, but now that there's a complete overhaul of coaches, so there's just new philosophies and things, like a way about doing things. There's a new process in town. I don't know if we are going to be able to draft and develop tight ends like how we have the last 20 something odd years. I just don't know yet. We'll have to see. When it comes to Hibner or Cuevas, it's so hard with them because you really just don't have enough of a read on them. It's like you barely have enough of a read on guys like Jacoby Lane, Elijah Surratt, right? But guys like Hibner and Cuevas, limited stuff that you can take from their college days. I do think that they have a similar skill set. Cuevas is a little bit more of like a bigger body, but both can block. They both can play in line, right there on the line of scrimmage. So it's one of those things, man. We're just gonna have to see who makes the most plays in training camp, and both of these guys need to be underneath the thumb of Mark Andrews. For whatever we want to say about Mark Andrews, I think that he would be a phenomenal teacher, right, and ushering these young guys into the league and showing them how to play the position at the pro level. So I don't know. That's a crapshoot, man. Hibner, Cuevas, we have no idea what's going to happen. But we do know about Mark. Like you mentioned, we do know about Mark Andrews, and I do expect him to kind of turn the clocks back. I mean, we all know regular season Mark is a demon, in most seasons, right? And I think that if Lamar Jackson, stays healthy behind an offensive line that should be improved, he's going to have more time to get the ball to Mark Andrews on some of those later developing routes. Mark Andrews, deep crossers over the middle. That's kind of like his bread and butter, his staple connection with Lamar Jackson. So I think that we'll be seeing more of Mark Andrews, and he should be having a nice bounce back season. But again, like I mentioned, but in terms of those other guys, those young guys, Alex, I have no idea yet. I truly have no clue. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Let me see. Brandon says if Mark Andrews goes down, we go down to the depending on the rookies.
Yeah,
That's true. Yeah.
that's scary, but it'd be exciting. It's like how fast can you grow up? Cuevas went to Bama, Hibner went to SMU. I mean, those are two good football schools. Kwame here, Marcus led us in reception touchdowns every year since he's been here. It'll be the same. I'll tell you this: if you had to set an over underline, not to get too far off, on Mark Andrews touchdowns,
That's a
what
good
are we
question,
setting it at?
Alex.
I have a
Um,
line in my head right now. I'm thinking
I'd probably say 7.5.
same page. I was
Yeah.
thinking 7.5 as well. I think that's a
Yeah.
really good way to put. I mean, I think you can still get double digits, but it's definitely going to want to spread the ball to the receivers, as well. I think Andrews will be the guy in the red zone, can go up there and get it. But I think that's a really good line. He has a what, 4 last year? 4 or 5?
Yeah, I
I think
think he
it's
had
lowest ever.
5. I think he had
That was his
5
lowest
last year.
ever
Yeah.
in his career.
I actually want to look up and see what his line is really quick. Let me see something. What is his line for this season? If it shows me.
Durham Smythe has to be like 0.5. That has got to be like your
Probably, yeah,
yeah,
probably
long shot.
0.5 for him.
Like you bet
But
on him.
from Mark Andrews, let me see. Will it show me? I guess maybe not. I don't know. I guess it's not out yet. I thought it was out, but it's not. Anywho, I would say 7.5 will probably be his touchdown line for the season. Yeah, yeah. Let me see player futures. Maybe I can find it. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it right now.
Could have sworn I saw something about it
They had the line out
earlier.
for the first game already on DraftKings.
Do they really? What is
Worth
it?
3.5 point favorites. The over
Interesting.
under is at 49.5.
Oh wow. So they think it's
That's
gonna be like fireworks. We're gonna come out swinging offensively.
Jesse Minter. Are you seeing this?
Yeah, yeah. I think it's more of an ode to Lamar Jackson, and like,
Mm,
when Lamar he's gonna be going scorched earth with a new coach, revamped O line. You know what I mean? A couple new weapons. So maybe lost a couple, but of course Derrick Henry's back as well. All that. So I think it's more of like, hey, I think that they're thinking the Ravens offense is gonna make some noise against Indy in Week 1. I did find the line,
okay.
Alex, for
Okay.
Mark Andrews total receiving touchdowns is actually at 5.5.
Oh.
Over under 5.5
Oh.
for Mark Andrews.
What is
So
this one?
it says here a bet MGM you can get that line. Let me see. Caesars, Hard Rock Bet. Let me see. DraftKings has it at 6.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think it's a pretty safe over either way, if you
I
ask
like
me.
that. I like the over 5.5.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. What you guys think? Let me know what you guys think in the chat and in the comment section. Do you think over or under 5.5 touchdowns for Mark Andrews this season? I'll tell you one thing, Alex. We're gonna make some money this year on the Purple Rain Parlay
Listen,
segment.
I feel like I've become very smart with since the World Cup, and I feel like we kind of have now like we have a full season down, like going through picks. We're gonna be good this year. Stick with us. The Purple Rain parlays will be back. Stick with us, please.
Yes, 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 yes. Afia says, I'm not expecting us to be undefeated or nothing, but definitely expect us to keep leads at least. Expect the defense to end top 10 at least. No, I agree. I agree.
Yes.
Afia, I found out a crazy stat, right? Jesse Minter's defense last year only allowed around 18 points a game in LA. The year before that, the Chargers only allowed 17 points per game. And this is with less talent than what you're dealing with now in Baltimore. It was only allowing 17 a game. And get this. Do you know what Lamar Jackson's record is in games where his defense gives up 17 or fewer points? 33-0. 33-0.
Mm.
So I think that the stars are really aligning here, and this is where like the national media, it's on the hush hush right now. Nobody knows yet. Everybody's kind of like, oh yeah, Baltimore, it's Baltimore, right? They're gonna do their thing. We know it, Lamar Jackson and everything, but at the end of the day, they're gonna fall short in the playoffs. Like that's what they're all expecting. But like, no, things have taken a turn here in Baltimore. I don't think people really understand like just how dangerous. I mean, Lamar and the offensive side, just how dangerous this defense is going to be, Alex, because there are all the pieces that you need. You have depth in the interior D line, right? Getting guys like Calais Campbell, of course, Aeneas Peebles, Broderick Washington. Is looking like Nnamdi Madubuike is going to be coming back. They're quote unquote cautiously optimistic. You heard about that, Alex?
He was at his freaking camp this weekend,
Yeah,
lining up.
youth camp.
Get him out in the field. You can tell he missed it. I mean, he's
Yeah,
lining up against little kids, man. God bless him. He didn't run somebody over. I cannot imagine how bad he wants to just goes head to head. The first person that sees Nnamdi Madubuike on the line, I
mm.
will pray for you.
Feel sorry for you, brother.
That
Feel
is
sorry
going to
for you.
be. It'll probably be 365 plus days of him waiting for that moment.
Yeah. Some poor center, some poor guard is going to catch hell trying to block Nnamdi Madubuike and then get a hand on Travis Jones at the same time.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Wow.
Good luck. But yeah, that was the point I was making, Alex. I mean, it's just you have all the pieces. So Madubuike comes back, Travis Jones pushing the pocket from the interior, right? Pushing the line into the quarterback's lap, making sure the quarterback's eyes stay low. Because that's the thing. When you have interior pressure on a quarterback, his eyes have to stay low. They can't go downfield because he has to worry about what's right in front of him, right? Like Tom Brady said it best. Like that's the worst type of pressure that a quarterback can face is interior pressure. When it's coming from the outside, when it's coming from the edge, you can just step up into the pocket, still make a throw, right? But you can't really do that when the pressure's coming from the inside. You get knocked off your spot. Now you're off balance. Now you cut off one side of the field. Now you got to throw across your body in some cases, things like that. And that's what, that's the type of entropy and havoc that Nnamdi Madubuike and Travis Jones, they create on the interior. Take it a step further, go on the exterior now. Go on the edges. You have Trey Hendrickson. That was the one thing that we couldn't tie this defense together like and make it a complete defense over the last couple of years because we did not have a guy who can actually get quarterbacks on the ground on a consistent basis. You know what I mean? We had our sack leader last year was Travis Jones rushing from the interior with 5.5 sacks. It's abysmal. It's unacceptable. So now you add that sack production with Trey Hendrickson on the outside. And then, of course, Roquan Smith, however we feel about him, Trenton Simpson, Teddy Buchanan, however we feel about them. I expect Simpson to have a pretty good year while he's playing at least. And then, of course, the secondary it's up for debate. I don't really know how I feel about the secondary. I would say that if I had to so let's rank the 3 levels of the defense while Afia's comments here.
Okay.
Defensive line, linebackers, secondary, from best to worst. Go.
Oh, I like our secondary. I do. I'm basing it off of the whole Marlon flip-flop year because it's now been the past, I think, 5 years. Good year, bad year, good year, bad year. I'm also basing that Kyle Hamilton will be making things where can I rank Kyle Hamilton? Who does he fit in with? What is he with the safeties in the secondary, or is he, because he can line up anywhere, but I'm going to strictly base him as a safety and I got to put them 1 in secondary. See, the D-line, I'll put 2 with linebackers 3. I think I'll do that.
I would go D-line number 1, to be honest with you. I'm going D-line number 1 only because, again, if Nnamdi Madubuike comes back and you have him and Travis Jones, and then not to mention, like we mentioned, Trey Hendrickson, Zion Young, who I do expect maybe not to make the hugest impact in his rookie campaign, but I do expect him to make some noise. Even if it's just making noise, literally, bringing the energy, he's going to do that, But when it comes to the secondary, I don't really have a whole lot of faith in anybody outside of Kyle Hamilton. I think it's fair that, even though Hamilton plays in the box, he's, a nickel, a big nickel is sometimes it's like a linebacker, like a glorified linebacker. You can still consider him in the secondary, like a secondary player. So I understand that. That's why I would probably put them second. I'd put the secondary second, but that D line, man, it just if they're pushing the pocket and really shutting down running lanes that's everything. That's everything. Everything else is predicated off of that. Getting pressure and then stopping the run. So I go D line first. I think the D line is the best right now, and then secondary. And then the linebackers. And I think somebody in the chat, Ravens lover here, says the same thing. DL, 3 great guys, 3 good younger edges, and Calais. That's true. The 3 younger edges, you got Tavius Robinson, you got Mike Green, and Zion Young. BK Travis. Those are 2 of the 3 great guys there. And then, like you mentioned, Calais Campbell. So, yeah. Yeah.
I was
think
thinking
secondary is good. I won't say great. Yeah, go ahead.
I pulled up our depth chart. So I'm just gonna go through it Nate Wiggins, Hamilton, Starks, Awuzie, Humphrey. They have that as our starters. Then you have the likes of Jalen Hawkins, CJ Tampa, Chandler Rivers, Kayvon Wallace, who has starting experience as our 3rd string safety, Keon Martin, who stepped in, then Lagerbeam as a 4th stringer, who was just a draft pick last year, who was looking good. So, but for the D line, they have it here: Madubuike, Travis Jones, John Jenkins, Tavius, Trey Hendrickson. Then the backups, the second string, they have Mike Green, Zion Young, CJ Okoye, Calais Campbell. 3rd string, Broderick Washington, Issa Isaac. 4th string, Aeneas Peebles. It's like Aeneas Peebles for me as a fourth string is crazy to think about. I feel like he should definitely be getting some play time this year. But I mean, the fact we can even have these conversations and debate what position is better is very good. But to me, the biggest red flag is we both can agree that the linebacker is probably the weakness on this defense.
Definitely. Definitely. And that's going to be on Roquan Smith to, turn that around. We've been saying it all offseason. We need to see him make more plays. For me specifically, I'm looking for more tackles for loss. I'm looking for more forced turnovers, right? Like, don't just let Kyle Hamilton show you up as like the leader of this defense, because really that's what we see. Like before the games, it's Roquan Smith leading the pack and hyping guys up and, telling people, oh, you're going to let them come in your house and take your food and your wife and kids are here. Like he says a whole lot of good stuff, but when the game starts, it's like, he kind of takes that back seat. You know what I'm saying? It's like he kind of fades back into the darkness, whatever. Kind of like that Simpsons meme, where it's like, he's here, but he fades into the bush. Yeah, like you just don't hear from him. But yeah, we got to see him step up. But yeah,
so
go ahead.
Real quick, I mean, not to another question for me is like the linebacker nowhere, but we can get onto that after this video.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. So, again, before we switch topics here, make sure you comment down below what your top questions are going into training camp. Again, that starts this Friday and again goes all next week. Cannot wait. We are almost back here with football. Also, we have about 100 people watching live right now across platforms. We appreciate each and every one of you guys for tuning into this episode 425 of the Purple Rain podcast. Please be sure to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and also be sure, hit that notification bell. That way you are let known whenever we go live here on PRP. Okay. So speaking of news that came out over the weekend, Alex, so this isn't necessarily news, but you had a player, a rookie, posting some workout videos, and this is none other than Ravens' third-round pick, Jacoby Lane, running some routes here and just kind of getting some work, and he's training. You can tell he's working hard, and he's listen, man, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. They were shitting on Jacoby Lane on the internet.
Hardly work.
they've been lighting him up for this video here, saying that he looks stiff, he looks like kind of slow, he looks nothing good, right? When you saw this video of Jacoby Lane, what did you take from it?
Growing pains, and I feel like our assessment has been fair. We have not hyped him up. Like, we know he's going to be a red zone target. And that's why I think we both have Strat, probably being the guy to move the ball down the field, and then Lane being the guy to get in the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
But he was a third-round pick for a reason. There's obviously going to be growth that has to be involved. That's why you get a new receiving coach. That's why you get a Declan Doyle. It's just the internet being the internet. It's not the best, but who am I to judge? I'm hoping that we get him right, and that's what preseason's for. I mean, the reps in preseason, he'll be playing. He won't be sitting out there. I mean, fingers crossed he stays healthy. And if he doesn't, get all these snaps, that's cool. I mean, we have guys that can fill in. So it's not the best out there, and I'm not going to overreact to it, but I think he knows he has to be better. And he's working with the best of the best in the NFL now, not college. So, Jacoby Lane, your stocks are down right now, but they can only go one way, and that's up.
Yeah. And it's like, come on, man. The dude is 6'5". You can't expect him to be chopping it up and
Right.
sinking his hips and whatnot and being super, super quick like a Zay Flowers type of guy. That's just not the archetype of receiver that he is. And like that's kind of like the beauty in getting a guy like this. Yeah, I mean, he's a little bit taller, so he looks a little bit stiffer in running routes, sure, whatever. His body can't move in the same way as some of these other guys. But he feels a need, like you mentioned, red zone, right? Oh, you talk about just want to throw it up to him. And it was funny because while people were crapping on Jacoby Lane, you did have DeAndre Hopkins, kind of defending him here. It says he's a playmaker. The ball's in the air, then it's his. Looking forward to see him with Lamar. And that's exactly, I mean, you couldn't say it any better. That's all there is to it, really. Like, jump ball Jacoby, right?
D-Hop, it sounds like you want to mentor him.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. Man.
That's what it sounds like.
Just come on back, D-Hop. D-Hop, I don't know if you're listening, but just come on back. Come on back to the Ravens, man.
Too much sense.
It makes too much sense, right? Season is right around the corner. Training camp starts next week. Just hit up who you need to hit up. Say, hey, look, If y'all still looking for a veteran wide receiver, I'd love to come in and help. I'll play vet minimum. I'm just looking to help a room out. And I was with you guys last year. Things were really good. He's cool with Lamar. Listen, it just makes all the sense in the world to me. He's not hurt.
Yeah, you
Who
can't
says
call
no?
him washed either. My thing is, a receiver is washed to me is when you throw him the ball and nothing happens. The guy got the ball thrown to him and made every catch possible, one hand on the sideline. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Now, what
there's
I will
juice in the
say,
tank. There's
there
juice.
is, there is. What I will say as it pertains to this Jacoby Lane video, really quick. Turn off the music there. Um, the only concern that I do have for Jacoby Lane is going to be his ability to, because outside of the red zone, obviously when you're inside the red zone, everything becomes condensed, and I think it gives guys like him an advantage, right? Because it's just like, hey, let me just run to one part. If I'm 1-on-1, Lamar's gonna throw it up to me. All I got to do is just go ahead and get this jump ball. But in between the 20s, where you are expected to run a little bit more of the route tree and kind of operate out in space a little bit more, I do have worries that, against some NFL level DBs, they could probably jam him up a little bit,
Yeah.
right? Because from what I'm seeing here, obviously I don't think he's going 100%, but he is like, off of like as soon as he starts his rep here, as soon as he starts that rep right there, it's like arms a little wide. I can see a DB kind of getting into his chest, kind of jamming him up, throwing him off of his spot, throwing him off of his route, and messing with his timing and things like that. I can see Jacoby Lane being the type of receiver where his DB is damn near on his hip on most routes. You know what I'm saying? But it's just a matter of, we're going to throw it up to this guy and give him a chance to come down with it, because he's 6'5", and nobody else no other cornerback, at least in the AFC North, is over 6'1", maybe 6'2". Well, Tacario Davis, their rookie, is 6'4", but he's a rookie too. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Anywho, yeah, I think you got to take this with a grain of salt, because this could also not just be him not actually running routes, but just like practicing things like change of direction and, things like that. So we can't really look at this and be like, oh, he's going to be ass, right?
Yeah, I mean, it at points may look a little sloppy, and it's July 20th, no pads on, and like I said, there's going to be growing pains. That's what practice is for, not just sound like Allen Iverson, but you need it. You need to go against an NFL caliber. You'll be training against Marlon Humphrey, take it for what it's worth. Awuzie, Nate Wiggins. Hell, he might be lined up with Kyle Hamilton for all we know. Like, I bet you they'll want to go one-on-one, because Kyle is a trash talker. We know that. Jacoby Lane, he'll let you know how he feels. They'll probably want to go one-on-one, and it'll be a fantastic battle. Iron sharpening iron, but it's just, ragging on the kid when he hasn't played a snap is very internet-like. It's very internet-like, and I think there's people out there who dislike him because of the whole NFL stuff. He's been getting all this coverage. Oh, why are you giving a third-round pick all this? He's an easy target. But I'm sure he's just laughing it off, and those first couple of touchdowns will be nice, and the dances.
Oh yeah. Oh, especially in the preseason, man. The fact that like that's so close. I mean, I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see what Jacoby Lane does in the preseason. I'm sure he's going to turn in some pretty nice performances. I'm expecting in preseason, because I don't expect Jacoby Lane to get a ton of play time in preseason. I'd say like what would you say? He played about a half, right, Alex?
A half in the first two games. Third game would
Okay.
just be like fringe guys, backups. I'll tell you this, he's gonna jump ball. They'd be a fool not to throw him one.
Yeah,
Probably
because you
at
got to
home
see what
against
you
the
have in
Eagles.
him. Yeah.
If you want to get the fans excited, you're throwing him a jump ball that first game.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So let's go ahead and transition here to our next topic of the show. Again, be sure to like this video, sub if you are new in Replay Gang, comment down below. Now, news came out earlier today, Alex, that the Bengals will wear their white helmets on their New Year's Eve game against the Ravens for the first ever white Bengal stripe game. This combines the white Bengal and stripe the jungle to create a stadium-wide white and black tiger stripe effect. And I think that they put out like a video or something like that. I don't know. Did I have it saved? I don't know. Anyways, what did you think when you heard about this, Alex? I mean, all white. Do you think that the Ravens should bring out the all blacks? The darkness falls. What do you think?
I don't think they're gonna pull out the blacks. I feel like it's M&T Bank exclusive thing.
Okay.
Probably the purple rising. I know we wore that color rush against the Rams in 19 away, so we'll probably pull it out for this. Or we could go all purple, which I wouldn't hate, but I don't know if we can pull that. I don't know if you can do that. So I'm expecting the purple rising, but hopefully at this point we're just playing for the 1 seed, and the division's already wrapped up. So we'll
Yeah.
see you there, Cincinnati. We'll see if the game will mean anything for you guys.
I'll tell you, these are definitely Cincinnati's best jerseys, though. If you
Easily.
ask me. Yeah. These are
I
these are
mean,
clean.
yeah, it's probably honestly like no bias side one of my favorite uniforms in the league. I like these a
Really?
lot. I think when you also incorporate the fan aspect as well, like being at a Ravens game for a Purple Rising, for a Darkness Falls, you feel like you're a part of the team. Like imagine you're at a game as a player, and you look around, you're in a fucking sea full of black. You know what I mean? Like you're in this. As for them, you see like the whole. It gives you like that college atmosphere. The fans will be louder. The stakes will be higher. I really like these a lot.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
more than my Ravens. You know what I mean? Like, not more than them, but
I'm gonna say they're definitely top 5 for me. They're definitely top 5. They're up there with like the Rams. The Rams have a really nice white kit now too. And then also the Chargers. Those Chargers, like those dark blue ones. Oh, those are so sweet.
I love it. The navy blue. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
hot take. I like them more than the powder blue. Hot take. I think that's because they made
Me
the
too.
powder blue like their go-to for
Yeah.
jerseys like that. You got to make that like a once or twice a year thing to really enjoy it. Imagine if
Yeah.
the Ravens went, black as their main. You get used to it.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. It wouldn't be special. But somebody said, well, Ifia says here, nah, the Darkness Falls has to stay at the bank. I get that. I understand. You got to drop the lights and everything like that, and then pick them up and watch those glimmer underneath the of M&T Bank. I understand that. So I'm thinking maybe you go with the purple kits. I would say probably go with those, and maybe because we don't have a white helmet.
No.
It'll probably be maybe all purple. You
Yeah,
think?
it
Yeah.
will be. And then we have to wait. Actually, speaking of uniforms, in 2 years for the NFL rivals, we'll get them. We're the last division.
Wait, what's that again?
That was what the NFC West had last year and the AFC East. Remember, the
Mhm.
Rams had like that black uniform. The Patriots had like that gray one as well.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I think they did those. That what was it? Monday night game. I think it was Bills
Yep.
versus Patriots. They did
Yep.
that.
Yep. The
Yeah,
Thursday night game was the rivals when it was like the Rams and the Seahawks.
yeah.
We had to wait 2 years for that.
That sucks. 2 years is a long freaking time. Anywho, yeah. Let us know down below in the comments what you think about these Cincinnati Bengals jerseys, and yeah.
Real quick, the captain patch shoe adds on to it. Bring me back the Ravens captain patch. I need it.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Okay. Let's go ahead and move right along here, Alex, to our next topic of the show. So this was a something a little funny, right? Earlier today, I was just minding my business, and I saw this. Tom Brady is having ongoing conversations with the WWE about a potential partnership, though it's unclear what will ultimately come from the talks, per TMZ. Brady and TKO CEO Ari Emanuel are both minority owners of the Raiders. TKO is the company that owns WWE. So when you look at a story like this or a tweet like this on the surface, it's like, okay, maybe Tom Brady's about to get into business with the WWE and do some back office stuff and, kind of have his hands and, behind the scenes doing stuff. But when you see some of the recent antics from Tom Brady, it kind of makes you think that he's not going to be behind the scenes. He's going to be in the ring. And these antics that I'm talking about is most recently he's been seen out in public, like very publicly beefing with Logan Paul, who is in the WWE. Of course, he's a very big name in the WWE right now. And apparently the other day, Tom Brady slapped Logan Paul. And go ahead.
It was some half-ass like.
Let me see.
There was some contact, but it wasn't a slap.
Hold on, let's see. Oh yeah. So you can tell, I don't know what they're going back and forth about. Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Bro, this is how you know This was the most planned stage slap of all time. Look at
He
this.
didn't even hit
Logan
him.
Paul, it didn't even really look like he hit him. Logan Paul's head like barely moves. It's like he almost braced for it. He knew it was coming, right? It wasn't a clean slap at all. Then Carl Anthony Towns is
Oh
here
my
for some
god.
reason. Steps in between them. I'm just like, what is going on here? But apparently, yeah. So Tom Brady is maybe getting into wrestling, and maybe this is his way of kind of soft launching that or soft promoting it, if you know what I mean.
You know the trends. It's like you're the first in your bloodline to hear that sentence.
Yeah.
Tom Brady slaps Logan Paul while Carl Anthony Towns breaks it up. I'm the first one to hear that in my bloodline. You know, like that is
Yeah.
the most insane thing. And yeah, you can see like barely graze him in the face, definitely in the ear. But I'll tell you this: Tom Brady lived as a heel, the bad guy, for how many years in New England? If there's anybody who can embrace it, it's gonna be him. I could see him being on the mic, being somebody's like manager, talking for him, doing a damn good job at it. So good for Tom. He's already a color commentator for Fox. Do I want him to do it? No. I feel like he has should have a bit more respect for him. You're the
That's what I'm
most
saying.
accomplished quarterback ever.
It's
Like,
like grown man, by the way.
yeah,
Like, what are we doing?
you're above this. Not to bring family into it, but Giselle has a husband. Tom maybe time to be a family man. You can go
This
to
is,
listen.
yeah.
You can go to Fanatics Fest. I have no problem. This is fun. I mean, you were out there dunking Rob Gronkowski and the cane sauce, which is a really cool moment. Out there, he's big into the cards, and the collectibles. Um, you're living your life. LeBron was there. Like, it's kind of like not like a Met Gala for athletes, but it's a big event for athletes. But WWE, you're above that.
You're
It's an
above
experience
that,
you want to
man.
show, but not a full time job. You're above that.
Bro, you're a part owner of the Raiders. You're also, like you mentioned, a commentator, a color commentator for Fox. Like, bro, you're better than this. Again, and Tom Brady is what, mid 40s, like almost maybe pushing 50s now.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, bro, there's I just know you can't be this bored. And remember, we had this talk a while ago where it was like, some of these athletes who don't have partners, right? Obviously, Tom is divorced, like you mentioned. Now his ex-wife is married to a new guy and things like that. Maybe he is going through it, but this is the effects of that when you don't have that woman in your life. You know what I mean? Telling you like what you shouldn't be doing behind the scenes, right? You just kind of get out there and do anything. And maybe Tom Brady's just having like a midlife crisis right now. He's the type of guy to like when he wants to like do something and like go all the way. You know what I'm saying? Like he wants to go hard on it. And maybe this is what he's gonna do. But I just don't even see like what angle would he take in wrestling. You're like, what? He's not gonna be like a high flyer. He's not gonna be like a, you know what I mean, like a badass type of dude. Like it's just, I don't know. Like,
Who's watching wrestling to see Tom Brady? I like him. I like Tom Brady. Don't get me wrong.
yeah,
I haven't watched it for a while. I'm not gonna tune in if he were to be on there. I maybe catch a clip online.
yeah.
I'm not tuning in. I'm not buying it to watch him. And it's funny you bring up the not having a wife thing because there's one thing I will never forget you said, and it's because of this player. And you know who I'm about to say? Kevin Durant.
Yep.
This is a man pushing 40, arguing with like 13, 14-year-olds on Twitter.
Yep.
Go be a family man.
Go get a family.
You are one of the most like the greatest scorers ever to play the game, and you are beefing with Wemby season or
VC.
Shy Aura 6'7" on. You know what I mean? Like you're better than that. You're
Yeah.
better than that, Katie.
Bo Knows says in the chat, Tom Brady will be a mouthy corporate executive like Trump. Like I guess he's talking about like his angle maybe in the WWE. I was thinking like maybe like like a JBL back in the day. I don't know if you remember a JBL.
Oh, dude, of course.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
he's doing these days? He's now a sports capper. He's doing really
Oh,
good. Like
is he?
he gives out picks for the community. Yeah,
Interesting. I didn't
he
know
didn't
that.
grow up too. I like him.
I definitely hated him growing up for sure. But yeah. Let me see. All right. Before we transition into our next topic here, take a question or two in the chat. Ravens Lover 15232 says, how do y'all think receiving yards are distributed next year? Distributed? I mean, I think when it comes to yardage, Ravens lover, I would go, of course, Zay Flowers going to lead the team in receiving yards. Behind him, I would go Rashad Bateman. I looked at Rashad Bateman's line because Rashad Bateman's line is actually up. Alex, it's on. Let me see. Let me not lie to you. I saw it earlier, and I was like, oh, I'm hammering the over on that. Let me see. Rashad Bateman. Here we go. Total receiving yards on the year, over under. Can you guess the over under, Alex, that they have?
Receiving yards,
Yeah.
515.
450 and a half.
Here we go. Oh,
450 and a half. Void, appreciate the jewels. Appreciate that, brother. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm going with the over 450 and a half for sure. I'm thinking Rashad Bateman at least has about 700 yards this season, only because I do expect him to become more of a that deep threat. Like he'll get that part back to his game, especially with the offensive line. If they can perform like we expect them to, I do think that Lamar Jackson, since he is already familiar with Rashad Bateman as a deep threat, I think that connection can redevelop and pick up where it left off in 2024. But yeah, to continue your question, Ravens lover. So Zay first, Bateman second. If I had to guess right now for that third spot, I would go Elijah Surratt. I just think that he is going to probably be the one that emerges as the most pro ready. I think the coaches are going to be very excited about him. I think they're going to manufacture ways for him to get the ball and see what he can do. On top of being a red zone threat, he threatens you pretty much anywhere on the field. Anywhere on the field. Like Zay threatens you a lot. Appreciate that, Void. The jewels again. Zay threatens you a lot between the 20s, right? But not so much in the red zone. A Jacoby Lane will threaten you a lot, maybe more so like in the red zone, things like that. But Elijah Surratt, pretty much anywhere, he can be productive. So I would go with him as wide receiver 3. And then 4, I'd probably go Tez. And 5, I'll go Jacoby Lane. The man, appreciate the jewels.
So, not to go on a tangent, I pulled up the FanDuel because where was this futures at that you can bet on it?
I was on bettingpros.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to look on FanDuel, and real quick before I get into my point, if you want to bet on the Ravens, you can bet on eFootball that play Madden. You can bet on the Ravens. They're playing in 3 minutes on Madden, and you can bet on them. And we're minus 195 favorites, which is hilarious. But going to actual odds, we have the second highest odds to win the AFC, right behind the Bills. And we have the we're tied for second odds to win the Super Bowl with the Bills. The favorites right now are the Rams. We're at plus 1,100 to win the Super Bowl, which the books respect us. Nobody else does, but we have to prove, we have to prove the books right, which is interesting though. Tied for second with a new OC, DC head coach, O-line. Crazy.
Yeah. I mean, like I said before, Ravens are going to hurt a whole lot of feelings this year. I feel like a lot of people aren't seeing it coming. I mean, yeah, Vegas is giving us some props there. Second highest odds to win the AFC, plus 1,100 to win the Super Bowl. That's actually, pretty good to win the Super Bowl out of a league with 32 teams. So, we'll just have to see what happens there. But Alex, let's go ahead and move on here to our next topic of the show, which is the World Cup. The World Cup final happened yesterday. It was a successful hate watch for my guy Simply AS10 as Argentina was taken down 1-0 to Spain. And, I watched that game, Alex, and I was like, man, defense really does win championships, because Spain just, they were not letting Argentina really take an inch, right? Like, I think no shots on target, maybe until the last couple of minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. Did they ever get? I know they had a couple of shots. I'm not sure if. I think Unai Simon had it saved. Let me check real quick. But that game was one punch, one throw, one claim. Do you have any saves? No saves. He made no saves the whole time.
Wow.
So yes, 2 total shots the whole game. 120 minutes. You bring up defense. I'm gonna bring up the midfield. As much as it pains me to say it, Rodri, who won, I believe, the Golden Ball. No, did he? I don't know if he did. I think he did. From Manchester City, is the best midfielder in the world. He is unbelievable. He wears number 16. You probably saw him all around. Passing, intercepting, recoveries, winning duels. Him and Fabian Ruiz had Argentina on strings. They were making the passes. And, you know, it felt like football won yesterday because Argentina were never the best team in the tournament. They never deserved to win the World Cup. And Spain, to me, I think they let up one goal the whole time. They scored goals from many different players, midfield, like you said, defense, goalkeeper, attackers. Lamine Yamal had one goal the whole World Cup. He was supposed to
Yeah.
be their star, their guy. One goal. Best team won by far, and they deserved it. Should have been more if it weren't for the Argentina goalkeeper, Martinez. I think he had 8 or 9 saves.
Oh no, I thought it was
Honestly,
like 11.
was it 11? Let me check.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what
11,
I
sorry,
heard
11
on the
saves.
broadcast. Yeah.
So if you're an analytics guy, like I am with soccer, he faced 3.03 expected goals on target, and according to analytics, he prevented 2.03 goals,
Hmm.
which is unreal. Honestly, um, it should have been won with the last kick of the game in a regular time with Yamal. If that free kick goes in, that boy's PR is out the world. I thought he was gonna bang it. I don't know about you. I'm like, this is the moment against Messi, against his idol, against the guy who he took his number at Barcelona in the World Cup. He's scoring this, but it was saved. But yeah, best team won. Successful hate watch. But Messi's not going out like that. He'll be back for the next World Cup.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah,
At what,
he
43?
I think he has a role still to play. I mean, he didn't really run a lot. He just was attacking, and those players play for him. I think he'll play, and he's in the MLS. Like he doesn't have to kill his body to be playing here. I think that's why he came over here. Less stressful, less toll on the body. He'll definitely run the Copa in 2 years, and I think he'll be back from the World Cup.
Well, who do you think is gonna win the was it the Golden Boot award?
So Mbappe had the most goals. Mbappe had the
Okay.
most goals. He won that. I think
Oh,
Rodri
okay.
won the best player. Kubarasi from Spain won the best young player, which you have to be born after 2005, which made me feel very old.
Insane.
So we have a 19-year-old who just won the World Cup playing as a defender. I think that was it. And then Unai Simon, the Spain goalkeeper, won best goalkeeper. Well deserved.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, man. I mean, but like just kind of sticking on with the game from yesterday, I was expecting like the entire time, because the entire tournament, Argentina, they just had this magic about them, where
Hmm.
they would go down and it just didn't matter. They would pull it out at the end. That's what I thought was gonna happen. I thought that you were gonna get like a just one of those moments from Messi where he's just like, all right, enough, and like I'm just gonna take this. I'm gonna do it myself. And like we've seen that, whether it be because in the game before last, he had the 2 assists. Who was that against? In the semifinal,
England.
Argentina. Oh, in England, that's
England.
right. He had the two
Yeah.
assists at the end of the game, and those were beautiful, beautiful assists, man. We talked about him on Thursday. Uh, but yeah, he just stepped up when really need be. But like in this game, I don't know if they just couldn't get him the ball, or like he's just kind of like a non-factor.
Yeah, it was that. It was you go down to 10 men because Enzo Fernandez is an idiot. Um, I saw people saying that they flopped on the second yellow card. That's not a flop. That's a dangerous tackle. He's lucky he didn't catch contact, or it would have been a lot worse. I don't know if you saw it. The guy who he literally flipped from him going in for the challenge.
Yeah.
That's always a yellow. And I'm looking here. He had no service. He had 120 minutes played and how many touches? He had 54 touches. He had 5 accurate crosses. He was dispossessed twice. It just wasn't going for him. Um, and is that his fault? Maybe, maybe not. He only had 34 passes in 120 minutes. You got to get him more looks. Get him on the ball. He's the best player to ever grace the sport. But that is the game. And Spain, like I said, rightful winners. Football won yesterday. They had 35% possession, 0.2 expected goals, 2 total shots. They had 357 passes. Spain had 763.
Jeez,
And they committed
man.
25 fouls. Argentina did. They played dirty. They played nasty. Um, and yeah, justice was served.
They're lucky that game was only 1-0. They are
It
super lucky.
that should have been like that Chiefs Eagles. That should have been like a 4-0. But
Yeah.
they got credit to Martinez. He saved them big time.
I put it in my YouTube short when I reacted to the game. I was like, That World Cup final kind of reminded me of the 2019 Super Bowl, Rams versus Patriots that ended 13-3.
13-3.
Yeah, there was like
The
one big
Rams,
play the whole game.
like even when they had the ball, they weren't scoring, and that's what was with Argentina. Like they had a chance, but skied it. The Rams had a chance, and that thing golfed through a pick. So good
Yeah.
comparison, though.
Yep. Okay. So moving on from that, back into some football and Ravens related news, kind of sort of here. You had the NFL Top 100 list continue earlier today, and the latest quarterback on the list is Bo Nix coming in at number 59. That's ranked 10 spots higher than Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson. Last year, Bo Nix was ranked number 64 in the top 100. So he moves up a couple of spots, and Lamar moves down by 67 spots. That's still, it baffles me. But what did you think about Bo Nix being ranked 59?
I just found out about this when you told me, because I know there's going to be some egregious shouts for who's better than Lamar. Go player. Go player. This list is an absolute horseshit. Broncos, pun intended and all. You're telling me in your right mind right now, if somebody does a redraft, you're picking Bo Nix over Lamar Jackson. Ain't a shot in hell. Ain't a shot in hell.
And I like Bo
You're telling me,
Nix.
yeah, good player.
Yeah.
All I'm gonna say, we'll see this year. I think this year is a great litmus test. He has Jalen Waddle, but now there's more film on him. So let's see how good he does against these defenses now. But above Lamar, how Trevor Lawrence above Lamar?
Insane.
Close your eyes. Let's do the Colin Coward. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Mahomes, no look. The throws. Josh Allen running over guys. The big arm. Lamar, the electrifying plays, making guys miss. Running down the field. Throwing down the field. Trevor Lawrence, what do you see?
And Bo Nix last year, Trevor Lawrence is one thing, but like Bo Nix last year having 3,900 passing yards, 25 passing touchdowns, 11 picks, and 87 passer rating, completing 63% of his passes. It's like, okay, that's a good season, but like, again, was it anything to write home about to where you can say, okay, this guy has surpassed Lamar Jackson? Absolutely not. I need to ask, like, what does Bo Nix do in the players' eyes who voted for Bo Nix or gave him more points or whatever, how they do it? What does Bo Nix do better than Lamar Jackson? The answer is nothing. Like, nothing. He's not a better thrower than Lamar Jackson. He's damn sure not a better runner than Lamar Jackson. Right? He hasn't accomplished not nearly as much as Lamar Jackson. Obviously, Bo Nix only being in the league 2 seasons so far. But still, I mean, there's just nothing. There's just nothing. I see Asmodi is dropping the 2-piece in the chat. Thank you so much, brother. Says, I printed this list and used it to wipe my ass. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all it's good for.
25 touchdowns. He had 4 more touchdowns than Lamar, who played in 4 less games.
Come on, man. Come on. Like, what are we doing?
Came out of the game early. Twice. Chiefs and Patriots.
I have no idea what we're doing, man.
Really? I feel like the Shannon Sharp meme when he's walking. It's like, really? That's how.
Yeah, in the airport.
Really?
Yeah,
that's how I.
Yeah. But that's again. This is all like bulletin board material. If I'm Lamar Jackson, man, like I'm taking stock of this. Like I'm taking note. Like okay. And these are the players who voted for this. These are the players who put me at number 69. Okay, I got something for you players. I got something for everybody in the league. Like it's not. These aren't like the I think it would sting a little bit more if I'm Lamar Jackson. It stings a little bit more that my peers, my actual peers in the space who are on the gridiron with me, who have seen me do things that no other quarterback has done, right? Those are the guys who dropped me down 67 spots when I was behind a banged up O-line last year and had a stale relationship with the head coach who should have been gone, right? You know, like it's not the GMs and the execs and the scouts. Those aren't the ones who drop Lamar Jackson down. No, it's his peers. So again, if I'm Lamar, I'm taking that personally. Like Michael Jordan, I took that personally. Yep. You know, I think Lamar, he's gonna be coming out with a vengeance this year, man. And the league is not ready. Okay, they are not ready. But of course, there'll be more quarterbacks to be revealed on this list, and I'm sure we'll talk about each and every one of them. So we'll see as this list goes on. Thank you so much, Asmodis, for the super chat donation. Definitely using this list to wipe our ass with. That's for sure. All right, Alex, I want to transition into this now. So we talked about a little bit before we went live. John Harbaugh back in the news in Ravens land after he made some comments about Jaxson Dart, basically saying that like he's gonna utilize Jaxson Dart the same way that he utilized Lamar Jackson. Now, a lot of fans had an issue with this because it insinuates that Jaxson Dart is like Lamar Jackson. He can do the same things as Lamar. When I think that that's not all the way true. I don't think it's true at all. I mean, yes, Jaxson Dart, he has some scrambling ability and things like that, but he's closer to like a poor man's Josh Allen than he would be a Lamar Jackson, in my estimation. What did you make of John Harbaugh's comments, Alex, that Jaxson Dart is going to be the new Lamar, basically?
It's crazy. I think I can see that point because number one, Josh Allen loves taking hits. Jaxson Dart loves taking hits. I don't think this is crazy to say. We've never seen a quarterback elude defenders, elude tackles like Lamar. Remember when they were saying like, oh, he takes too many hits? It's like, think about when has Lamar really gotten lit up in the past couple of years? It's not a sack. When he, gets outside the pocket, when he runs, he has this just weirdest way of just dropping down, like, and he's coming.
He goes down on his terms, yeah.
It's like
like
unbelievable the way it's the way he just stops like that and just falls, or he'll like step backwards, go out of bounds. Like he's brought that into his game, and I think that's why he's still here. Like his I words don't come from running; they come in the pocket, and that's what other fans don't think. They think Lamar gets hurt outside the pocket. It's always been inside the pocket. Every time, it's in the pocket. But what else is John supposed to say? He could say, they're different quarterbacks. I'm going to judge him, But he's trying to hype his guy up, and if that's where things will work, go for it. But what are we doing here at the Purple Rain Podcast? We're keeping receipts. So when
yes,
it
we
is
are.
December, November, hell, January, we remember.
Yeah, we will be here. We will be here. We remember. Yeah, so outside of Harbaugh's comments about Jaxson Dart, there's also a little clip here that you shared with me at the top of the show of New York Giants running back Cam Skattebo, who was recovering from, what did he tear his ACL and some more stuff last season, I think. And now apparently, where is he at? I don't know where he's at here.
I think this was also Fanatics Fest.
Oh, okay, so he's also at Fanatics Fest. He's showing off the knee. And then he just, okay. Oh, my goodness.
You didn't see this?
No.
This is your first time seeing that. Okay.
Yes. Bro, no way. He just said, yeah, I just tore my ACL like 7 months ago. Watch this. And then just does a backflip and does not stick the landing. Like, bro, he could have hyperextended the hell out of that knee. So many things could have happened. Can you imagine? Alex, can you imagine if he tears some shit up in his knee again trying to do this dumb shit? And Giants fans are faced with that news. I mean, I would be livid watching this. If I was a Giants fan, if I was John Harbaugh, if I was Joe Sheen, I'd be livid. What do you think?
The Browns, I remember, stopped Myles Garrett from playing basketball in the offseason. Shannon Sharp ran a whole special on Lamar Jackson running routes at his... Boy, thank you for the jewels. Press F for respects. They ran a whole segment on their show about Lamar playing with the kids at his youth camp. You have Cam Skattebo. I don't think this is crazy to say he's not getting a second contract. He might not last a second contract in the NFL. The way he plays with concussions, the way his game is, and this off the field antics.
Yeah, see, this is the guy who needs to be in the WWE.
Right. Yeah.
The man, appreciate the jewels.
I don't know if he didn't get enough attention as a kid. Like, while we're backflipping, like, this is stuff that I Show Speed does. This is his.
Yeah.
Cam,
Speed would have landed this backflip.
Easily. Cam, you're in the NFL. You're running over guys. That's what you get viral for. If you land this backflip, it's not going viral. It'll get some views. Viral, I doubt it.
Bro, you
This
know
is
how
like,
dumb he had to feel, and then he had to overcompensate by coming back and doing all this, bro. You know how dumb you have to feel to like just like fail like you're taunting here, you hit the backflip, and then you fall on your ass, and then you get up and you like trying to act all hype and shit. Nah, bro, this ain't it. This ain't it. This is not it.
yeah.
Let me see what you guys saying in the chat here.
Mm.
Ravens Lover says, I like Skattebo's play style. I like his play style too for a running back, but it's like I need to see more production out of this kid. I need to. Like, if you're doing all this in the offseason, fresh off an ACL tear, you're doing backflips at Fanatics Fest. Nah, man, I need to see you break off some big runs this season, or else those bust allegations are going to be right there. I'll be here for that. Ravens Lover also says Mike Green's backflip is better. Oh, yeah, I heard Mike Green was also doing backflips and whatnot, added that to his repertoire. Tila
Okay.
says he had an open tibia fracture, a dislocated right ankle, and a ruptured deltoid ligament.
How
There's a lot of
smart.
stuff going on. It's a lot of stuff going on for you to be doing backflips again at Fanatics Fest.
And the way that right leg looks when he like lands it. Oh my god.
It's like you can tell,
Oh
like it stiffens
yeah.
up, bro. It stiffens
I know
up,
that hurt
man.
too. He felt a little
Yeah,
something there too. He had to walk it off, but
yeah, yeah. Oh my goodness,
yeah.
I can only imagine like the text message that he got from John Harbaugh or whoever else, his running backs, whoever else, or hell, his agent. I don't know, like
Yep.
somebody in his corner. Like, hey, yo, big dog. Hey, listen, maybe don't do backflips,
Right.
right? When you are 6 months or 7 months removed from surgery to repair all this stuff that Tila says he had going on, tibia, like an open tibia fracture, dislocated right ankle, and a ruptured deltoid ligament. I mean, that's all up and down you mean your legs pretty much. Like that's, man, this is just not smart. Not
He
smart.
could have came out on crutches, crack it over his knee, show he's good. But you do this. There's much better ways to show you're healed. Like a
Ah,
field
it's so embarrassing, dog.
workout video, something.
Workout video is something, yeah,
Cartwheel.
man. Bro. Nah, this ain't it. This ain't it. Anywho. Anywho.
Mm.
Oh,
Mm.
like Miss Fancy Pants says, minus 100 aura. He definitely lost some aura for me. Definitely lost some aura. Definitely lost some cool points, whatever it is.
Goodness me.
Okay. All right. I think we got through just about everything, Alex, unless there was something that I missed. Let me see. Oh, you had UFC this weekend. Actually missed the
Yes.
fight. I had to go back and watch it. But
Yeah, I missed it
Kamaru
too.
Usman, Dricus Duplessis fought. Dricus Duplessis won. And now he's probably going to go ahead and fight Sean Strickland for the third time,
Right.
And he's beat him twice. So I think that unofficially, you can pretty much just hand the belt to DDP because Sean Strickland, he doesn't know how to figure out Dricus Duplessis. And Dricus only gets better each fight. So there it is, Um, Outside of that, yeah, I think that pretty much covers everything, Alex. Do you have anything else for me?
Orioles in a 7-game win streak.
Okay, O's.
First time in 3 years they've done that. Think
Oh,
that's
there's also you hear about that Ryan Clark thing?
I did. Get him out of
Yeah,
here. Get him the
Ryan
most
Clark.
very flip flop. Very. Hey, you said you'd take Kyler Murray over him, over Lamar Jackson. I didn't forget
He
Ryan
did.
Clark.
He did. He did. He did. So, in case you didn't know, Ryan Clark has gotten laid off from ESPN as of today. Apparently, he was on TV on NFL Live, and then he was made aware that ESPN was letting him go, and he didn't finish like the last 10 minutes of the NFL Live show or something like that. And that's when the news kind of dropped online that he had been laid off from ESPN. And apparently, there's more layoffs to come, right? So Ryan Clark was maybe just the first name to get laid off. Maybe there'll be more coming here in the future.
Mm.
It's crazy though. It's crazy though.
ESPN feels
Yeah,
like they
talk
get
about
rid
it.
of like half of their staff every year. You notice? Maybe it's just me, but it feels like this guy gets cut. This guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. You know what I mean? Like they just flip flop talent, and the guys they bring on, not to be rude, they aren't qualified, or like they shouldn't be talking about what they're talking about. And I think they just rely too much on Stephen A. And I think Stephen A. has such a grip on that company. That's going to be their downfall is him. There's no way Stephen A. should be talking about the World Cup he was or basketball. I'm fine with football. He just knows the Steelers. It feels like I don't think he knows every team like he should. And yeah, it showed with Max Kellerman. That's why he's not working there anymore. Stephen A. didn't like him.
Yeah. Really, I mean, all it is with ESPN now is like you've got Stephen A. and then you've got Pat McAfee.
Yeah,
And
Pat
I
McAfee.
think that ESPN, I think that they believe that like their core audience falls into either one of those two buckets. You're either a fan of Stephen A. or you're a fan of Pat McAfee, right? And I think that everybody else to them is kind of like expendable. Everybody else is kind of like these side characters who they can kind of carousel in and out or like rotate every couple of years or something like that. But I really think that ESPN, like the content is just getting stale, and I think that they should probably find a fresh face. They need like a young, you know what I'm saying, like somebody super smart who can debate and things like that. Somebody maybe who's known, right? They need somebody like that to kind of take the reins from guys like Stephen A. and even Pat McAfee. I know Pat McAfee's younger; he's still got a long time to go in his broadcasting career, but I think that they need somebody else in the building there, because if you look at some of their competition. Like I mean, when it comes to like watching national media, I'd rather watch Fox Sports One analysts as opposed to ESPN's. You know, I'll take the Colin Cowhers, what however you feel about him. I'll take the Nick Wrights, and I'll take the some of the other guys on that network as well, who I really like. Chris Broussard, a couple of them are I'm blanking on right now, but they've got some good names. They got some good talent over there. Danny Parkins is a guy like Jason Timpf talking about basketball. They've got some good stuff going on at Fox Sports One. And ESPN, they're just kind of falling behind. But ESPN, of course, is under that Disney umbrella, So I feel like they don't really have a vested interest in really improving their product. I think that they're just trying to maintain.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And that's why you see they buy out the NFL Network, which still I'm a little upset about because I really like the NFL Network. I thought GMFB at its prime for me is like I'm putting
Oh
up
yeah,
there
you used to like that show, yeah.
like when it like I said Kyle, Peter, Kay, and Nate. Like I'm putting that show in conversations you might not put. I'm putting in that guy. Like they I think was a fantastic like core four of like great chemistry, and they get picked off for great reasons. Obviously, everybody has their own opportunity, and ESPN takes over and like it's now like no disrespect, like Manti Te'o, the Jamie Ertl girl. I think I like her. I like Manti Te'o, but like it just didn't have the same. You want to go back and watch it because I was going out of my way to come home and watch it, see what they're talking about. They have one, I think, they had Seth Rollins on, WWE superstar, as like a guest guy for a couple of months. It's like, I like him, but what does he know about football? You know the Kanye?
Right.
I
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Gaga. What the F does she know about Polaroid cameras? That's kind of how
right.
I felt. And I think with, them taking over it's ESPN that is, it's going to be all the same, like cookie cutter nonsense.
Yeah. I mean, they had like a thing going. Remember when they brought in Shannon Sharp and they had him on
Yeah.
First Take, and it was like, oh, I mean, because that's when I knew that ESPN was done. When they brought in Shannon Sharp to First Take after he left Undisputed, I thought that they were about to go to the moon. I thought First Take was going to be back. You're going to have debates with Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp and whoever else they bring. I thought that was going to be like cinema. You know what I mean? But it never really panned out. Like Shannon Sharp was barely even Shannon Sharp on ESPN.
Did he leave because of IG Live? Is that why? Remember when he
Um,
accidentally went live?
well, yeah. So I think ESPN they fired him. They let him go
Oh,
because of the allegations from his accuser and stuff like that. And then of course
okay.
he ended up settling with the girl, and there was like some voicemails and stuff that were left that he was like sounding abusive towards her and things. So
Oh, I
they
didn't know about that.
yeah, 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 yeah. It's yeah.
I just saw
He's
his about
probably still
Instagram.
paying that girl money now.
Yeah, money.
Yeah, but that Instagram live definitely did kick it off. That's when we kind of learned that Shannon Sharp was on some weird stuff, some crazy stuff. But yeah, he
He
kind of
still does
ruined it for me.
nightcap with
Yeah, he still
Ocho
does
Cinco,
nightcap.
right? Okay.
Yeah, he still does nightcap, and he's got his own podcast where he brings on celebrities and stuff like that. He's doing well. I mean, he's doing well. But he was so close to getting like a huge ESPN deal, and that just kind of course, never panned out because Shannon was on his Diggler mode. It's crazy. There's that
That's
lawsuit.
that's insane, man.
Yeah, man.
It's
Yeah,
it's,
man.
it's crazy. I mean, what these not to go on a tangent, what these sports gigs can turn into. Because look at Nate Burleson. He parlayed being a good receiver in the NFL to a great analyst to getting on CBS for the NFL and now on CBS Morning Show.
Yeah.
Michael Strahan as well. Like when you're good at something, you'll get the opportunity. And now it's just like, who's that next person to make that step? I don't know if I see it. And then
Yeah, I don't see it, out of anybody either. But the good thing is football season is coming back up here soon,
yeah,
and you're going to see, I think, a lot of new faces, across these networks and stuff like that. So maybe there will be somebody who emerges and kind of maybe saves ESPN. But again, like I said, I just don't think that they're too worried about, bringing in any new talent. They know that their biggest cash cows are Stephen A. Smith and First Take, and then Pat McAfee and the Pat McAfee Show, and that's like, you have those two things, and everything else is like, all right, just kind of supplementary. All right, they don't really care about the rest of it. So, but we'll see. We'll see. But listen, guys, we are going to go ahead and close this stream here, this episode 425 of PRP. Again, thank you guys so much for coming through to this one. Please be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel as well if you have not already. And be sure to turn on those notifications. That way you are made aware anytime that we go live here at the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel. We will be back for the main pod on Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. But until then, we will be live at Quiet Storm Sports, going live at about 5:30, 6 p.m. Eastern time, give or take, throughout the week. And we talk about pretty much all things Ravens over there, and then other sports too. So make sure you, again, turn on those notifications so you do not miss a stream. Okay. Football season right around the corner. We're excited. We know you are as well. We want to thank you. Actually, yeah, definitely thank you guys for, of course, rocking out with us the entire off season. Like it always amazes me, Alex, how like, during the off season, we still have people who show up and watch the streams and care about Ravens talk when it's hard to do, especially in months like July and when it gets really, really dry and stuff like that. But you guys are there. You guys are the go. We appreciate you each and every time for coming through, supporting the channel. Just like you can see in the pinned comment in the chat. Like, thank you for all your support. Before we get out of here, again, like the video, sub to the channel, replay gang. Make sure you hype this video. We'd appreciate that. But with that being said, Alex, go ahead and take us out.
Thank you very much for coming through to episode 425 of the Purple Rain Podcast. We love you. We appreciate you. And as always, stay positive and test negative.
Yeah, and Afia says, I like this because there was a minimum bait glaze. Thank you.
And no Zay Flowers. No Zay Flowers talk.
Didn't even mention Zay today.
What?
Didn't even mention. Aren't y'all proud? Like the video for that. Right? Like the video for that. Anywho, yeah, stay positive, test negative. Never, ever, ever forget, even on the rainiest of days, to call God. And may purple rain. Peace.